listening to The Cooler. With me, Rebecca Berman. My television broadcast, The Cooler, is set to air in 2016, but I just could not wait. So thanks to Igloo and my sponsored Cooler, we were able to create a modern-day talk show with a colossal Igloo cooler as its centerpiece. The Cooler's contents are comically revealed to the guests as it relates to them. So what is in the cooler? Stay tuned. You're about to enter The Cooler.
Hey everyone, welcome to The Cooler. I'm so glad you guys are all here today, and I have such a fun show for us. First of all, I have host with the mostest and Super Bowl special food with my girlfriend Elisa Lyons. Hi Elisa. And then I have actor, writer, producer Paul Borghese. Hi Paul, how are you? And I also have music artist Cal. So we have a great show, and I'm so excited. And let's start. I think my friend Elisa has us all lined up for the early Super Bowl. So I'm going to come over and give you a help here.
Okay.
So what do we have?
Well, you know, Sunday is the big game.
Yes.
Super Bowl.
Yes, I think I knew that.
Yes, and most people are passionate about what teams are going to play, that their team makes it to the big game.
Right.
But I'm just passionate about having a party so I could have some super food.
And I have to tell my audience, Elisa is literally the best host. I go to her house all the time for parties and events, and she just does such a magnificent job. As you can see here, everything is like perfectly done and perfectly styled, and that's why I made her come in today and help me do this.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, all you other college friends, that you're not here today. But anyway.
You're going to get some pushback on that.
Yes,
for sure.
I might. Okay. So what do we have?
Everybody, the number one food for Super Bowl parties is chicken fingers.
Okay.
Chicken wings.
Okay.
Excuse me, buffalo chicken wings.
Well, I do like those.
And those are awfully messy.
Right.
And I don't really like that.
Okay.
So I have buffalo chicken sliders, and you can eat them on a bun, which is nice and neat.
And we can have all our audience try some when we're done.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, all right, good. So let's get to it.
To make it, the recipe basically is 1 pound each of chicken breast and chicken thighs. So we can put that in the pot.
Okay, great.
Just slide it right in there. Can you do that?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, well that slid pretty easily.
That slid really easily.
And if we weren't on the show, we would brown this in a pan first at home and get some good color and flavor on it. But for television purposes, podcast purposes, we're not doing that.
Okay.
And we'll follow that with...
So how many onions do we have?
A medium onion.
Okay.
That one actually looks a little large, but 1 onion.
Okay.
1 red pepper.
Great.
And we'll
delicious.
Just put that right in there. And chopped up pretty small.
Okay.
And then 3 cloves of garlic.
Okay.
And you just put that right in there.
That sounds great. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Done with that.
I'm being the prep chef.
Right. So then we need the buffalo and the hot part. So we have a 1/4 cup of hot sauce.
Okay.
And I like Frank's hot sauce, so that's what I'm using.
Oh yeah, I like that
if
too.
you like it spicier, you could use more for a bigger kick.
Okay.
And then we have 3 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce.
Okay.
We'll just put
This
that
looks
in there.
really good.
It's very yummy, and it's very easy.
Okay.
2 tablespoons of yellow mustard, which is not usually one of my favorite ingredients.
You
but
mean not like the stone ground or any of those
you know,
other
I'm more
kinds?
of like a Dijon kind of a girl.
Okay.
But this works for the recipe.
Okay.
And then lastly, a weird ingredient, 1 tablespoon of molasses, unfiltered molasses, because you got to balance that spicy with a little sweet.
Okay. And if we get filtered, are we in trouble? We could be.
Probably not.
All right.
And probably you could use other things like honey or something else, but
Okay.
this seems to work. And then you just mix it up.
Great.
And then you leave it
Right.
for 4 hours on low
Okay.
in your handy dandy crock pot. And you come back to it after 4 hours and you have a beautiful pulled chicken. But actually, after you're done,
This actually looks really good.
you'll take this masher because it's in chunks now, but
Okay.
you'll use the masher
Like
to
once
make
it's
the
cooked.
shredded. Yes, once
Okay.
it's cooked.
Okay.
And that's what we happen to have right here.
Oh, look at that. The beauty of television.
So
Okay.
let's move this.
Yeah,
maybe.
let's move that over.
And what's also good about this on game day is you can prepare it in the morning,
Okay.
and then it's done by game time.
And will you come to the people's houses to make it look so perfect and beautiful?
No, they have to figure out how to do that on their own.
Okay.
And then you can serve it. What I like to do is serve it on these mini brioche buns.
Right. Oh, those are cute. Yummy.
But you can also use those little mini potato buns, if you know what those are.
Right.
Like hot dog buns, but they come in a little size.
Okay.
And I like to just put a little bit of chicken.
Okay. Look how perfect that looks. Beautiful.
And, you know, along with buffalo wings, you usually have a little blue cheese.
Right.
So I like
Very
to put
nice.
a little bit of blue cheese on top.
That looks great.
A little messy.
Yeah,
But,
we have to really be careful here in the studio.
Yeah. And then just for a little something extra.
Uh-huh. Very nice.
A little bread and butter pickle on top, and
Now,
we'll top it off.
I don't know if you can actually see, if the camera can actually see how like absolutely perfect Elisa makes these things, but everything she like oh, there's my nail polish. Everything she like puts together and serves always looks so good, and it tastes so good. So if anyone's watching this, you should write down her recipe if you do like to have something to eat on Super Bowl Sunday.
And you can use ranch dressing if you don't like blue cheese.
Okay.
Ranch is also good. And if you want to have something healthy, you can serve a little celery on the side just
there
for
you
a
go.
little bit of
Here, I'm going to put that over
the
it.
health. Gives
And
a
what-
good accompaniment.
And what team are you rooting for?
Well, I'm a Giant fan, so I have to root for Eli's brother, Peyton.
Oh,
so
so-
I'm rooting for the Broncos.
So do you think that that's like the theory out there in the U.S.?
well,
like
I
how
think a
people
lot
are-
of Giants fans are probably rooting for Peyton because, you know,
Even if they hate
support
the Broncos.
family. Yes.
Okay.
But I'm just glad the Patriots didn't get in.
Okay. Well, I as people watched me last week speak to Rob Carpenter, who used to play for the Jets. I have no idea about football. I don't have any like team allegiance, so I'm just going to have to go with what you're telling
with,
me.
You know, a brother and a father who were diehard football fans.
Oh, and you used to go to the games.
Yes, used to go to the Giant games. Kind
Right.
of got it by osmosis.
Yes. Okay.
So.
Well, that makes sense. You should be rooting
yes.
for them.
So, but I always like a good Super Bowl party.
Yeah, that's true, because it's a party, anything
Exactly.
entertaining, food related.
Exactly. Any reason to make something
Right.
in the kitchen.
All right, so we've got 3 beautiful sliders here,
Wait,
and
forgot the pickle.
and I think we're gonna pass them out to the
Okay.
audience,
Want me to help
and yes, and then clean up this beauty and welcome our next guest.
Okay.
Okay. Here, wait.
Try one?
Oh, good. Okay. Look at that. The camera goes right.
There you
Who
go.
wants to try? Not Larry. Paul, you want to try? You can eat it later. You don't have to have it right now. Married. Okay. Would you like? Dad, do you want one?
Is that a yes?
He said no. All right. So we're gonna
Clean this up?
yeah, we're gonna clean this
Okay,
up.
perfect.
Okay. Thank you, Elisa. That was so fun having you here today.
My pleasure.
And how is it, audience? Okay, I got a piece of cheese in there.
Okay, that's okay.
Okay.
You want to
I feel like we can leave these here. Maybe not. Maybe we'll put it over here. Okay.
Okay.
Hey, thanks for bearing with us while we clean up on our little food segment. So my next guest that I'd like to welcome, and I think you have to bring a chair over with you, is Paul Borghese. He is an actor, he's a director, producer, writer, and I can't wait to hear all the fun things and cool things that he's working on. Hey, Paul, how are you?
Doing. I'm also playing in the Super Bowl, as you know.
You are. I
Yes.
didn't know that. Thank you.
Oh yeah, they brought me back just for this game.
Okay, well then that's good. I'm really glad to hear that. So out of the cooler today, I have a little something for you, and here it is.
A
And
New
we're
York
in
Yankee hat.
we're in the theme of sports. So what does this mean to you?
Well, a New York Yankee hat means a lot to a lot of people.
That's true. It does.
To me, it's very special because I got to play Yogi Berra in the HBO movie 61.
Wow. Awesome.
So I got to wear one of the Yankee hats that they wore in 1961 in the movie.
oh, that's
So
crazy.
this is great. This is great.
That is really
Can
crazy.
we plug Cannon on it? Because I see Cannon
Yeah,
on the back.
sure. Why not?
Right?
What the hell? What? How was that playing Yogi Berra? What'd you have to do to prepare for that?
Oh, that was great. Well, we had to go to first of all, auditioned for Billy Crystal.
Oh, wow.
And,
That is awesome.
Played baseball in Central Park for Billy Crystal.
That was not too hard.
You know,
or was it? Was it a lot of pressure?
Oh yeah, well, think about Billy Crystal. He's an icon. So
Right.
But he's like the greatest guy in the world, and he makes you feel so comfortable.
Right.
So
That's
it was
awesome.
an enjoyable process. And then they sent us to baseball training camp to make sure we could actually play ball. And
Right.
of course, we had to be actors. And I worked the whole summer on it, so it was the best summer of my life, probably.
Wow, that is crazy. It's like when you were a kid, did you ever think like you'd be playing that part and playing with like a team that you probably love, I'm assuming, if you're a New Yorker?
Yes, I am.
Although maybe if you're a Long Islander, you don't love them, but...
I'm a New Yorker, and the Yankees are my favorite baseball team. And no, I never could have imagined. I mean, there's, a lot of guys are going out and paying to go to a fantasy baseball
Right.
camp, and I was being paid to be at like a fantasy baseball camp, so to
Yeah,
speak. So
no, that's awesome.
It was a great experience. And getting to know Yogi, which I had to do before the movie to try to get down a little bit the way he spoke. And,
Right.
and all that was really a real treat. And,
That's-
God rest his soul.
Right.
We just lost Yogi recently. But
you got to meet him before.
Yeah, I got to spend a lot of time with him, actually.
Right.
And got to walk the Yogi Berra Museum with him in Montclair,
Oh, how
New
neat
Jersey,
is
together, and him telling me he told me stories, and
Right.
so yeah, so I really value that experience.
That is crazy. That's like a lifetime thing happening to you that you really would have never imagined. Is that something like that you ever thought you would be doing?
I mean, as an actor, anything could come your way.
Right.
That particular role, I thought was gone. I hadn't heard back, and
Right.
for a while, and time had passed, and and then all of a sudden I got a call from my agent. It was like, "You got the part, the Yogi Berra role."
Right.
And I'm like, "You kidding, really?" And then and then we went out and shot the movie, and the movie was nominated. It had 12 Emmy nominations. And,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It was like a big hit.
It was an HBO movie. They wanted to release it theatrically.
Right.
Then they decided to just make it an HBO movie. It keeps airing every spring. That's why I always, if the Yankees do better and if the Yankees get in the playoffs or
Right.
the World Series, they run it more because it's such a Yankee movie. But when the Yankees
Aren't doing that
don't do
well.
as well as we would like for them to do,
Right.
I don't
That's
get as the residuals I would get
Right.
if they were doing better.
You're like, you Yankees have to do well, otherwise I'm in trouble. Tell me about back in the day.
Oh, Back in the Day is the most recent feature film that I directed.
Okay.
I directed a couple of short films in the last few months, but this feature film Back in the Day, it's not really a boxing movie, but it has a boxing backdrop, and it's very different. The lead in the movie is William DeMeo.
Okay.
He plays a half Italian, a half Puerto Rican boxer who grows up in Brooklyn in 1989. Around 1989 is sort of the period piece of the movie.
Right.
And the trials and tribulations he went through when it came to racism, not being completely Italian, living in Brooklyn, and I won't tell you the whole story, but he kind of loses his father at an early age, and his mother. His father comes back into his life, and Alec Baldwin's in the movie, and Michael Madsen, Danny Glover plays his trainer,
Wow.
and Annabella Sciorra, and Mike Tyson's in the movie.
That's great.
So it's a great cast, and
That is
we're
great.
getting released May 20th into AMC Lowe's
awesome.
theaters, so I'm excited about that. I also play a small part in the movie. When I direct, I never play a big role.
Right. I think I saw you, maybe you were in the trailer for it, or that might have...
Yeah, I am briefly in the
Right.
trailer. I just play a neighborhood guy, Sal.
So now, the fact that you're the director, did you have anything to do with writing or bringing the story together, or you were just, hey, I direct things and they found you and it just all worked out?
Well, I've worked a lot with William DeMeo in the past. We
Okay.
we made a movie together called Once Upon a Time in Brooklyn.
Uh-huh.
And before that, we made a movie called Searching for Bobby D. And we co-wrote those, and we started to write this one together, and then he sort of took the reins and went in his direction. But I helped with the writing in the sense that as a director, you're always a part of the writing process, and a lot of that came into play on the set, when you
Right.
change things on the set, or you think one thing might be better than the other. And then, of course, in the actual post-production editing phase, a lot of the writing happens there, where
Yes.
things change and you move things around.
Yes.
But he did write it. I co-produced it as well.
That's great.
And that was a great experience, too. I'm really, really excited about
sounds-
that movie and
that-
that release.
That sounds that's great. That really is like, another monumentous thing going on for you. And you've directed some other things as well.
Yeah, well, the first movie I directed was back in 1999 called Four Deadly Reasons.
Right.
And I just mentioned a few of the other movies that
sure.
I directed. You know, I've directed, I said, a whole lot of short films, and I just recently directed one called The Kids Menu with Vincent Pastore as the lead, my good friend from The Sopranos, Big Pussy on The Sopranos, and a short film I just directed called Twice Upon a Time, which is a 9/11 story and sort of about the aftermath of how like a widow was affected by it.
So what seasons were you on The Sopranos?
I was only on.
I was
only on in the second season. Towards the end of the second season, took a small role. Probably shouldn't have. Should have held out and waited. But who would have known? I would have gone that one.
Right. That's crazy. Yeah.
So if I would have known in hindsight, I would have passed on the role and waited for something bigger. But
Right. So were you one of the people who got hit? What? You just had a small.
Everybody got hit on The Sopranos, right?
They did. That's why you got to ask that.
Nobody got whacked, and people, the fans complained and said that episode sucked. Nobody got whacked.
No, that guy's still there. The next episode, I thought he'd be dead already.
And the next thing, and then his head would be cut off in the next episode. So you'd be like, okay, that's what I was waiting for.
Right.
But, I was part of that whole sanitation sort of arc in the story.
Okay. Yes,
so I
remember
one of the
that.
guys who's sanitation. One of the sanitation players, so to speak, with the mob, and I'm going on and on about how corrupt my sanitation route is and how good I'm doing with my corruption. That I give Tony Soprano a panic attack. That's when he's at that big golf event and he spits all the peanuts out of his mouth and he collapses on the floor and
they blamed it all on you.
Well, I kind of scuffed off to the side so they wouldn't think it was my fault. But that was a lot of fun. And, another person, God bless James Gandolfini's soul.
Yeah, it's so
I knew
sad.
Jimmy, before he ever did The Sopranos. We were friends. And I was the president of the Guild of Italian-American Actors for 4 years. And when I first took over, he was really like one of the first new members that I got. And by him joining and supporting it got me a lot of other members. And we built the organization quite a bit.
And what made you get involved with that? I know that was a big thing for you.
Well, I'm pro-Italian American. I'm a member of a lot of the Italian American organizations, and there was a union called the Italian Actors Union. It was established in 1937, but back in the day, there was a lot of Italian-speaking theater, so you needed a union for it. But then there's like no Italian-speaking theater in New York anymore. So I ran for president, and then we reinvented it as the Guild of Italian-American Actors and became more of a networking union.
Right, which is right.
Anything else,
which I feel like when you're an actor, probably in so many fields, any networking organization that you can hook up with, is really helpful. And something else that I know you also probably enjoyed, something that has to do with Larry Flint. And The People versus Larry Flint.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. It's funny that you would pull that one out. Yeah. Well,
it seems like that was a nice occasion for you on where it aired.
Done a lot of talk shows and talked to a lot of people, but that hasn't been brought up on the air yet. But
I'm good at that.
Well, at the time they did. There's a scene where Woody's in front of that big screen, and it was all about free speech. There's this big montage behind him, and it was everything from the Holocaust scenes to sort of sexier modern day exploitation and things like that.
Right.
And I was brought on to produce and direct that segment of the movie.
Right.
Which projected on the screen while he was giving that big speech.
Right, so you really did a whole montage thing for...
Yeah, I had to shoot. Well, I mean, a lot of the footage was obviously stock footage.
Right.
I wasn't at the Holocaust.
Right.
And, thank God.
Thank God, that's right.
And it did exist. But I, shot other things. And there was also some footage I already had that I shot.
Right.
I licensed to them. So that was,
That's it,
that was
a big producing piece.
Yeah. And that was a long time ago. So, it happened early on. So
right.
That was kind of an exciting call out of the blue.
And you also have done so many different, you're in so many different places. You're producing, you're directing, you're acting. And, which one do you like better and which one do you do, more regularly? And
well, I make most of my living as a director.
Okay.
I tend to produce or co-produce when I direct. People have been asking me for years, what do you like better? And I always said, I don't know, I like both, but I've come to realize now I still love acting, but I like the directing more because with the acting, a lot of times it's, just hurry up and wait around. With the directing, I'm busy from, the beginning of the day to the end of the day. I'm part of the whole creative process.
Right.
Consistently for however, many hours of the day, pre-production, production, post-production. But then again, it's refreshing sometimes as an actor to just learn my lines and show up and do my job and go home and not have to think about anything after that and just move on and wait for your check.
Well, one time I was an extra in LA Law. I think I won it like at a school auction or something.
I remember you in that episode.
We were in the courtroom. It was at whatever Chelsea Piers used to be, called something else then. I don't remember. But I do remember sitting in this room all day long doing nothing. And I was like thinking to myself, and even the people who had like the speaking parts who are the actors in it, they get out, they say their line, then you're just like sitting there all day. So
yeah, that's cool. Holding, right? I
was in the holding room.
Actually, I had an idea where I wanted to write a movie called Holding because of all the stories that you hear where all the extras wait, and then HBO came out with The Extra, which was like a really funny series, and I was like, okay, well, there goes that idea.
Right.
It's not who comes up with the idea; it's who executes it first.
Yes, that is kind of what it sounds like. I agree with you. But and what else did I want to ask you? So, all right, so you like directing better, but do you like doing character parts as actors, or do you when you're an actor, or?
I guess I'm a character actor. I mean, I'm not a romantic leading man. I tend to play.
You could be though.
I could be. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, you want to go out after this?
Sure.
Okay.
I don't think my husband will like it, but yeah.
I'll give him a phone call. I'll tell him it's a friendly thing. He won't mind. If you're listening, husband, I'm just kidding.
He doesn't. He never watches my show.
Well, he should watch your show.
I'm going to tell him to watch this one.
I'm really going to call him.
Okay. All right.
So I always play either a cop or a hood.
Uh-huh.
I'm like a New York cop or a mob guy. Or, every now and then I get to do like the Yogi Berra thing. Or
that was great.
I played a Jewish guy a couple of times.
Right.
Which was interesting and different, and look, wherever the work takes you, some actors complain, getting typecast, I'm always playing mob roles, or I'm always playing this, or I'm always playing, hey, look, if you're working, wherever it takes you to, just keep working. The only way you're going to get that shot at doing something way different is if a director really believes in you and knows that you have that stretch in you.
Right.
Or if you get your own project done and you write that role in for yourself.
Right.
The only way it's going to happen.
So, Paul, tell me, what is the latest thing you're working on?
Well, right now, I'm sort of between projects.
Okay.
I mean, I'm in the development stage of a number of different projects.
Okay.
Trying to decide which one should be first up on the slate.
Right. Okay.
So that would be very hard to tell you about all of that. We don't have enough time.
Well, you and I can go consult after the show, and I'll help you figure it out. So it's like kind of a joke that I'm even asking you this, but because you've done so much work, directing, producing, and obviously being in movies and TV shows. But where do you like people to look you up, so to speak? Like what social media?
Well, I'm back on Twitter.
You're back on, okay. You were one of those actors who were like, I am not going to be on Twitter anymore.
Thanks to our mutual friend and PR person I'm working with now, Alicia.
It's going to only be good that you're back on Twitter. You'll be happy.
But she's reorganizing all of that stuff for me. So
okay,
I only have one Facebook page, and she's telling me I need to have two. One a fan page and one personal. When you accept friend requests from people that you don't know that well because they're in the industry, they're looking at all your family pictures and all that stuff.
Right, and then that's weird, right?
You got to kind of split that up.
Yeah.
But I do have a website, which is Paul Borghese.
Okay.
At AOL. No, that's my. I might have really put something out. No, PaulBorghese.com.
Okay.
Okay. AOL made me sound like a dinosaur right there. So
I think people still have AOL.
Too. But it's not an updated website, but it is a website. And of course there's, the Internet Movie Database, IMDb.com.
Right. And I feel like that's more where people can really see your work and they can, but if they want to connect with you, now that you're back on Twitter, they can give it a try.
Once I figure out how to use it.
Right.
So if you do tweet me or whatever it's called, and I don't respond, it's because I don't know how to. So
you're like, I didn't know that you actually contacted me. So
I got to learn about the hashtags and all that stuff.
Right. It is complicated, but once you get it, it's like, this is so fun.
Can I ask you a question?
No. What?
Wow, you're quick. You must be a stand-up comic.
I try. What?
Okay. Do you think the Jets are going to win the Super Bowl?
Wait, they're not in it. I only know that because. I only know that because
I actually thought about that for a minute. You were like,
I have too much information in my head, and I can't include sports.
Joe Namath guaranteed they were going to win.
No, he's not playing anymore.
Well, but he guaranteed it in 1969. And
Oh,
they
he
won.
did?
Yes.
But they're not. These teams are playing. Thank God my friend brought these in because I would not remember. The Broncos
Yes.
and the Carolinas.
Yes, the Broncos and the Carolinas. I have a feeling the Carolinas. The Carolinas. I'm a big fan of the Carolinas. I'm a big fan of the New Yorkers too.
Wait, I
Really
thought
am.
I was supposed to be the stand-up comic.
Are you a fan of the Green Bayers? I think
Too cold there for me. I'm not a fan.
I think that the Panthers are probably going to win. And why did I emphasize probably so much the way I just said that? But I think I would love to see Denver win.
Yeah, me too.
That's who I'll be rooting for.
Are you like my friend who had that whole theory with the Peyton Manning theory? I don't even know.
I don't have any theory. But I'm in a lot of Super Bowl pools.
You are? Okay, so you're just hoping to win.
Too many that I just can't even look at them. I just have to watch the game and wait till the end.
Right.
And hope that they're honest and tell you if you won.
Okay. Well, Paul, it was so fun having you here, and I'll invite you to my next stand-up show.
I would love to come. You're making me laugh here.
Oh, wait.
Just imagine when you're on stage.
I forgot. I have to give you one of my cooler cookies. The cooler.
Cooler cookies. Wow, that's very cool.
So they're chocolate-covered Oreos, and my friend...
Should I take one or these props?
No, they're yours. You can
real?
keep one. Yeah.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, it's cute, right?
Wow.
And they taste really good. A friend of mine makes them.
I'm trying to lay off the chocolate, but that looks so good. I think I'm going to have to indulge in this after the
Yeah,
show.
or you could keep it like later, give it to any friends and family if you're not eating chocolate cookies right now.
Put it on my dashboard, let it melt.
No, don't do that.
No, nothing like that? Okay.
No.
This is very cool.
You're
I
not
like the
allowed
name of
to
the
do that.
show. I think the name of the show is really cool. I don't say really cool.
I know, that's the problem
pun
with it. You always
intended.
say that,
I
right?
do like the name of the show, and I like your logo, and I like you. And
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm so happy you came. That was
Happy
really
to be
fun.
there.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Take care.
we-
I have to give you a hug.
Are we still on camera?
Yes.
Okay. Do I really get to keep the hat?
No.
No?
I don't know. It might have to go back in the cooler.
Okay. Put it in the cooler. Give it to another
Okay.
Yankee actor.
Thanks, Paul.
Bye. Thanks.
Okay, bye. Paul, that was awesome. So fun chatting with you. And before I bring on Cal, I have something in my cooler that a friend, one of my friends who's in the audience today, Larry, just dropped off for me. And, it's Play-Doh. It's cute. It's fun. And wait, he gave me something else. Some jumbo coloring and activity book. And if you guys don't know, adult coloring is very hot right now. So thank you, Larry. Very nice. Oh, all right. Wait, one more thing. I don't know if I lost them in my cooler. Oh, no. Here they are. Okay. And now I'm sorry. Hi, I'm back. Okay. And crayons, too, for the coloring. And thank you again, Larry. That was great. Okay, so... Today's show is sponsored by artist-performer Mikhail Brown. I hope I'm saying that name right because I'm just calling him Cal. He graduated with a bachelor's degree in music from Post University in Long Island, and he has gone on to become one of the tri-state area's hottest artists. Mikhail has an incredible singing voice and has mastered numerous instruments, which I can't wait to hear what they are. He lives by the quote, "Put God first and you won't ever be second." Mikhail can be found on Twitter at Natty Spence, here to talk to us about his new Dahlias is Mikhail Brown. Woo!
What's going on?
Hey, Kale, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Thank you for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
And I apologize. Is it Mikhail? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, Mikhail.
Mikhail Brown.
That's cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your name, that's a great name, Kale. It's very trendy.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
So, what's going on today?
A lot, man.
A lot?
A
What-
lot. Yeah, I just been working, man. Just
So I have to first ask you, I know that you are very talented at singing, never mind, aside from singing, which is awesome, but you also play so many instruments. Can you tell me a little bit about that and how you got started doing that?
well, I really wouldn't call myself a singer per se.
Okay.
But, well, I started playing drums in church actually, which I still do. So I started playing drums in church, and then I branched off to a little bit of keyboard. Then I branched off into bass guitar. So
And you were playing all by ear? Did you read music back then, or?
Well, actually, yeah. When I started playing drums, like a couple months after that, I joined the middle school band. I started when I was like 12, 13. Yeah, I know.
So wait, how old are you? Like 18?
Who, me? Nah. Well, I just turned 26 in November, so
Okay.
So, I'm still
Right.
young.
All right. So middle
I'm still
school is
working
still
at it.
fresh in your mind.
Yeah, right. That's crazy.
I have a son who's in the middle school jazz band, and he asked me to write him a note. And he said, Mom, write me a note and tell the lady I don't want to be in it anymore. But now I'm going to tell him, watch Kale and the interview I did with him, and you're going to stay in that jazz band if it's the last thing you do.
Yeah, he should definitely stick with it because honestly, my sister, she's actually here now, but she was in the band before me. And I don't know, I saw the rehearsals and the pep rallies and it's like on Saturdays. So I'm like, man, I kind of like my Saturdays. So that was kind of the reason why I guess I wasn't trying to join the band.
Right.
But my mom was like, you should just learn to read, just do it. I was like,
Well, like you had the music, and when you're musical, you just are. So you kind of, there's something that's still drawing you that way.
Exactly.
Even though as a middle schooler, you try to fight that stuff.
Yeah, but I'm glad I did it and I stuck with it. So
Right, that's really good. And do you like writing music more than performing, or what's your?
You mean as far as like production?
Yeah.
It's funny. I was thinking about this too.
Oh, you were? That's funny.
Let me see.
Great minds think alike.
Exactly. So I actually like putting the music together. Like that's my love. You know what I mean? Production, composition.
Right, like mixing the all the different sounds and music.
Like playing all the different sounds. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like laying down the bass line, putting the drums together, whether it's live or we're using MIDI.
Right.
MIDI.
What is MIDI?
MIDI is what is it? Musical.
It's like me not knowing football. It's the same kind of thing.
It's, I believe it stands for musical instrument digital interface.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's pretty much like you have a keyboard and you could change the sound. So this could be a trumpet.
Right.
It's a sound. Yeah. So
Right.
that's MIDI. So yeah.
And so you don't actually play the instruments, record the music, and then mix them together. You just do it all digitally.
Sometimes, yeah. I have some tracks where I actually do play the bass live, where I play
Right.
drums live, and some not so much. Some just got the drum pads and
Right.
knock it out like that.
And where do you perform? Is it just all?
Well, so far, yeah, because as far as me being an artist, this is like kind of fresh to me. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think I've only been doing this for about like maybe 3 years or so.
Right.
Like maybe 4 or 3 years.
Okay.
So yeah, so I'm kind of just getting my feet wet. I performed at a couple places.
How was it? Were you like nervous, or you're like, I don't know if this is for me?
No. Like it was crazy because you know how like you kind of picture yourself doing something so much.
Yes.
And even sometimes like. When I'm home alone or even just in the shower or something, like I'm you know what I mean? I'm practicing, like, you know what I mean?
Right. Well, it's like it's just a part of you.
Yeah, exactly. So when I actually performed for the first time, it felt like I did it already. So, you know, and I had the band behind me and everything. It was dope.
And and can you tell me about your new video that you have out?
Oh, Dahlias?
Yes. I love that name.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, so the Dahlias is a flower that's indigenous to Mexico. And it's funny because I had a video breakdown about this too, but it was a little lengthy. It was like 20-something minutes. But
Okay.
I'll just give you the short version.
Give me the short version. That sounds good.
So the dahlias represent whatever it is that you love and that you cherish and that takes time to grow. So it's like a flower. So you got to nurture it. You got to spend time with it. You know, you got to really invest a lot of time and energy into it, just like a flower.
Right.
So
So that's how you came up with that.
not exactly. It happens to also be the name of my ex.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I don't think I like that name that much anymore.
Oh man.
What is she, crazy? You're so handsome. What'd she leave you for?
No. It was we're live, right? This is live.
Yeah, there's no editing here.
Yeah, it's cool. But yeah, so she definitely, the song isn't about her. I just want to make that clear too. The song isn't about her.
Okay.
But of course, you know, she has some influences in the song because that was the last previous relationship I came out of.
Right.
So yeah, so pretty much I was, and the dahlias for me, they represent music because, and I explained this too in the video, if I'm not with a model, and the models had name, the models had names, so one of them was named Rosie, other one was named Violet. And when I wasn't with one of the models, I was with something musical. So that
okay.
goes to say that, everybody has, or everybody knows that popular thing, roses and violets, but then you say dahlias, like, wait, what? Like, what's that?
Right. You're right. It's unusual, but it's also such a pretty name, even though I don't like your ex. Whatever.
My ex.
Don't tell her I don't like her.
I mean, she'll probably find out sooner or later.
All right. So what do you think about staying independent or getting signed by a label? Do you have any opinion on that?
Yeah, for the longest, I didn't want anything to do with major labels, but I think it just depends on what you ultimately want to do. I mean, you could definitely go the independent route and still be successful.
Right.
And I've not that I've seen, but from like artists that I've listened to, I saw them go to like major labels and still maintain their brand. And
Right.
The major labels is kind of like a partnership more so than like an umbrella over them. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I think it just depends on what you ultimately want to do.
And is it hard to stay when you are independent and you're not with a label? Is it hard to get your music out there, or or is it really is just the same? Like or is there not much of a difference?
To be honest,
Or I don't want to mess you up by having you give a bad answer, but
well, I would say I think it's harder to do it when you're independent because
Right.
you're pretty much your own boss. You know what I mean? You're like building your team. You're doing the entire process. You know what I mean? But not
Right.
necessarily you by yourself. You got to build your own team. You got to have people that you could trust, put them in
Right.
place. Things of that nature.
Right. So you still have to you still have to have your whole thing, your whole package together, even when you're independent.
Yeah.
So what else do you have going on that you want to tell us about?
Well, let me see. So I think the two biggest things right now is I'm working on my album. So I would say that should be released, I want to say late summer.
Right.
I don't have a date for that yet. And
Okay.
I say around Valentine's Day, if not maybe a little bit before, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah, we won't.
So so the Daya's song should be out on iTunes.
Okay. Oh, that's exciting. Wow.
So
And does that mean it's on Spotify?
well, yeah, that's how I want to do it. I want to put it on iTunes, Spotify, and a couple other places. Yeah.
And do you have to do that? Do you have to get in touch with them to do it, or it just kind of happens when it's released?
I have to do that.
Right.
Yeah, even the video and everything. Like, yeah, that was all.
Right. You have to. Right. So you really have to be proactive for your own career and getting the word out about your music and what you're doing.
Yeah.
And it's a big job.
Yeah, it is.
But it's when you're passionate about it, I assume you're like, yeah, whatever.
Exactly.
It's so fun.
Let's work, man. Like I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, but I woke up at like 5 something and I felt great. So you know what I mean? Like this is what it takes.
Right. Do you listen to your music if you're like, at home, or you listen to other people's?
Sometimes I only listen to my music after I just got done recording it.
Right.
But for the most part, I listen to other people's music.
Who do you like these days?
I listen to a lot of J. Cole. I like Wiz Khalifa actually.
You do?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
He's a big guy now, right?
Yeah, he's dope. Yeah, and even like for me, Pac is like the greatest. I used to listen to Pac all the time.
That's who you listened to when you were young.
Yeah, growing up, I listened to a lot of Pac, a lot of Jadakiss, Fabulous. Even though Fabulous is very much underrated. I'm not sure if you know Fabulous, but
I know the name.
yeah, he's
I'm up on some names.
okay.
I don't know if I'm up on like exactly what their music is.
It's cool. It's cool. Well, if you heard the name, then you're doing something right.
Yeah, hopefully.
You got it.
But so do you listen to any other genres or just...
Oh, of course, man. When I was in college, we were drilled in jazz and Latin and classical too. So I was in concert band, and I didn't have any formal training up until college.
Right.
So a lot of my peers, they had lessons from they were God knows how.
Right. So they're like 2 or something.
Yeah,
right?
and me, I was just like, well, I grew up playing by ear,
Right.
church, and just like I had the chops, but I didn't have the technique.
Right.
So I was drilled in jazz and Latin and classical, and
That's
yeah,
great.
it was intricate. Yeah.
Did that help in creating your music today? All of that.
Definitely.
And when you were playing in college, what'd you play? What instrument?
I played, well, as far as jazz band went, I played drum set.
Oh, right. You had said you like drums.
Yeah, it's cool. so we did drums, and then for classical, I did percussion. And on percussion, you're talking about like, I don't even know how much percussion instruments there are.
Right.
Plenty. You got timpani, you got marimba, you got xylophone, you got vibra snap, you got clave, like, and they all have different techniques.
Right.
So, man, I remember times in rehearsal, I would get called out because the clave didn't sound right, or you know what I mean?
Oh man, it's so technical.
I'm sitting there like, bro, like I don't even know how to really play this clave, but you know.
I'm sorry I don't have
learn.
one of those in my cooler to show everyone what it is, but
Sorry, I just took it as a learning process, though. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because it definitely increased my musicianship and just the caliber of the musician that I am.
right.
You know what I mean?
And Kale, where can people find you on social media?
Oh, my Instagram is _real_Kel. So the real Kel with underscores in between the words. Mm-hmm. And my Twitter is also the same thing. Oh, there you go.
All right, there they have it up for us. Okay, cool. And Kale, it was so great of you to be here today.
Thank you for
and
having
be a
me. I really
sponsor. It was awesome.
I really appreciate it.
And it was really fun talking to you. And tell that ex of yours she's an idiot.
Oh my God.
Wait, before you go, I have to give you a cookie.
Oh yeah.
It's chocolate covered Oreo. All right, my friend makes them. You can order them.
This is nice.
Yeah, it's good. It tastes good. Kale, thanks so much. And thank you again to all my guests today. It was so fun having everybody here on the cooler. And you can find me at Rebecca Berman TV. On Twitter, you can find me Rebecca.Berman on Instagram and RebeccaBermanTV.com. Facebook, Rebecca Berman. And thank you so much for being in the cooler with me today.